What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, guys, we're going to be going over my top 7 quarterbacks heading into 2021. Keep in mind, this is before the draft. If you're watching this, in the 2021 season. But yeah, so to me, like I said, obviously the draft hasn't happened yet, but I think we can predict pretty well what's going to happen in this draft. We can't guarantee like everything that's going to happen in the draft, obviously, but we have an idea of where teams are going to select and what positions they're going to select. So that's why I'm going ahead and making this video. And yeah, if you guys come to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave video ideas down below, because I'm always needing ideas, man. And let's get into it. So with our first quarterback, we are going 1-2-7, not 7-1. And I have Patrick Mahomes. To me, I don't think you can go any other way. Last year, Patrick Mahomes was my number 1 quarterback, and he still is, man. I just think, he had obviously an amazing season last year. Really the only thing keeping him from 5,000 yards was sitting out a game, which, you can't blame them for that. But so, to me, I think he's the best quarterback going into the season. You look, he's probably going to have one of his better offensive lines he's worked with this year. He's going to have Joe Thuney. He's going to have Austin Blythe, I believe is his name, is how you say it. He's going to be the center. And then, pretty sure to sign Kyle Long. I'll just put that on screen if they did. I honestly can't remember now, but I'm pretty sure they did. And then, obviously, Joe Thuney, I think I already said that. But, yeah, obviously his offensive line is still not going to be great. But I'm saying, he's probably going to have a better offensive line than he had last year. And, obviously he had a great season last year. He loses Sammy Watkins, but I think they'll probably draft a wide receiver or offensive tackle with the first-round pick. If they don't take a wide receiver with that first-round pick, I think they'll probably do that second round, maybe third round. We'll see. Obviously, can't forget about the defense, obviously. It also depends on how the board falls. There might not be any good wide receivers or offensive tackles / offensive line. So, they might have to go ahead and go like cornerback if there's a good cornerback, or if like a cornerback fell or something like that. I'm not saying cornerback's necessarily the position they would take for sure if they didn't take wide receiver or tackle, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm trying to say. If a good defensive player fell to them and, it was a decent position of need, I definitely think they could take it. Like edge, for example, that edge is a really big need for them. If they can get somebody with Chris Jones, I think that defensive line is going to be really, really solid, man. So, I wouldn't rule like edge out, but I think it's going to be tackle or wide receiver. But nonetheless, I have him number 1. Like I said, he was my number 1 last year. I'm predicting him for MVP as of now. I think it's honestly debatable, but yeah. Other thing I do want to quickly say is I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but I will be doing this for every position aside from offensive line, just because it's offensive line. Yeah, I will be doing like probably like defensive line, like just in one group, not like edge rushers and nose tackles, stuff like that. I'm probably just gonna do defensive line. But yeah, if you guys want to see it, let me know which one you guys want to see next. And yeah. Moving on to my number 2 quarterback, I have Aaron Rodgers. Obviously just won MVP, and yeah, I think he's probably gonna. He's not gonna fall off that hard. When he just won MVP, I think he's gonna have a great season again. Yeah, I think they got Aaron Jones back, which is definitely going to help out Aaron Rodgers. They lost Corey Linsley, which that's going to hurt, man. That's what's really making me kind of think twice about this, is the fact that they lost Corey Linsley. That's really making me, I seriously think, Corey Linsley seriously impacted I mean, he more seriously impacted the run game, but I mean, he also really impacted Aaron Rodgers, and especially with Aaron Rodgers not being as mobile, and he can't run for his life as easily. Um, I think that definitely could keep him outside of the top 10. To be honest with you, I really think that is a very underrated loss for them. But I still have them at 2. I just think they're probably going to go wide receiver first or second round. With Devontae Adams obviously coming off his best season, I think that this offense is still going to be really good. Like I said, obviously Corey Linsley, man, that's what really hurts. But I still think, man, I mean, Aaron Rodgers hasn't really had a bad season ever in the league. I mean, he's had some, not great seasons. I mean, obviously he hasn't made the Pro Bowl every year in his career, but I mean, for the most part, he's had a really, really good career so far, and I don't think that's gonna stop here. I mean, Devontae Adams is still there. They're most likely gonna get Tunyon back. Doesn't look like anybody's, gonna sign him. I believe he has a second round tender on him. I could be wrong, but I think that's what he has on him. And yeah, so number 3, I have Josh Allen. I honestly, like I said, I mean, especially with the Corey Linsley signing, I'm definitely tempted to move Josh Allen to 2. But for now, I'm keeping it like this. I think Josh Allen, I mean, he lost Cole Beasley. That's, once again, an underrated loss. I mean, Cole Beasley had, 950 yards, I believe. Not exactly, but about that this year. I mean, he had a really good season. They did get Emmanuel Sanders, which is obviously going to help, but I mean, the wide receiver core isn't looking great. Obviously, I mean, you still have Stephon Diggs. I mean, similar situation with Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's, as long as Stephon Diggs is there, I don't think he's going to drop off really hard, but I do think that Cole Beasley is a better player than Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, I feel like last year, Emmanuel Sanders really didn't get a chance. I mean, he never, he had, I think, a couple games or whatever over 100 yards in the year. But for the most part, I feel like Drew Brees really wasn't giving him, a huge chance. And I'm not saying Drew Brees has to throw to him, 17 times a game. But, I mean, especially with Michael Thomas injured. And I keep in mind, Emmanuel Sanders was injured a little bit of the season. I don't remember exactly how long. But, yeah, I mean, I do think that's an underrated signing. I just don't know if he's going to be able to, completely replace Cole Beasley. But nonetheless, I mean, I think, once again, with the 30th pick, I think they're going to get somebody to help out the offense. Honestly, I think they're probably going to go, to me, I think they'll go tackle, but they could definitely go wide receiver, honestly. They could go running back. To me, I don't think they'll do that. I just like what they have with Zach Moss and Devin Singletary, but they definitely could go running back, which would help. They could go interior offensive line. I don't know why I keep just saying tackle, but they could go interior offensive line. I mean, really, even if they went defense, I mean, that would still technically help him out because it'd put less pressure on him. But yeah, nonetheless, I think Josh Allen's going to have a great season. I think he'll definitely be an MVP candidate. And yeah, number 4, I have Russell Wilson. This is honestly kind of a tough one for me because, Russell Wilson's coming off one of his better seasons as a pro. I mean, definitely not his best season, but, I mean, it was looking like he was going to win MVP for, half the season. So, and, I mean, he still didn't finish terrible or anything, obviously. I mean, he still made the Pro Bowl. I mean, he didn't have a bad season anyway. But, yeah, I threw, I believe, 31 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Man, I mean, I think they just need to get Russell Wilson an offensive line, man. I mean, even just a decent one. I mean, offensive line seriously impacts how these guys play. And, I mean, obviously I'm not trying to say, he needs the best offensive line in the league to be good because then, he wouldn't really be that good. But, I mean, you saw what he's done in his whole entire career with a pretty bad offensive line. I mean, yeah, he's had pretty decent weapons, but you get what I'm trying to say. I think if they could get him a solid offensive line, I seriously think Russell Wilson's going to be good. And, they don't have a first-round pick, but they have a second-round pick. I think they'll address offensive line there. And, defense really started to look good later in the season. And I think if Russell Wilson can I mean, they got Chris Carson back as well, so that'll obviously help the run game. Um, but to me, I think Russell Wilson's gonna have another good season. I mean, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, one of the best wide receiver duos in the league, and like I said, he's got pretty solid backfield with Chris Carson. So, I mean, Russell Wilson's used to running for his life, and hopefully that second round pick or whatever they use on offensive line will help the offensive line out, because obviously will help out the whole offense, not just Russell Wilson, but also Chris Carson in the run game. So, yeah, moving on to number 5, I have Deshaun Watson. I want to move him higher, but at the same time, losing Will Fuller, and I know obviously Will Fuller was out for, I guess, like half the season almost. I think it was like 6 or 7 games, but, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but, I mean, Brandon Cooks is his number 1 wide receiver, and, I like Brandon Cooks. I think he definitely can be a Pro Bowler, but I don't think he's going to be, like your D-Hop type player. So, and to me, I mean, I think they got to get weapons for him. Philip Lindsay, I really like that signing. He's a decent receiving back, and then obviously he's a solid running back just in general. But, I mean, they really got to build around Deshaun Watson, man. I mean, obviously Deshaun Watson trade rumors are still not gone. Like, I mean, he still could get traded, but I think he's probably going to stay with the Texans, and hopefully Brandon Cooks can step it up for the Texans franchise, and for Deshaun Watson. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think he's going to be like a MVP candidate. I think he's going to have a similar season to last season, where he had a solid season, didn't throw much interceptions, threw a decent amount of touchdowns, but I don't think he's going to be like leading the league in touchdowns, leading the league in passing yards, winning MVP. I don't think that's going to happen, not when Brandon Cooks is his number 1 wide receiver, and he has a pretty terrible offensive line. So, yeah, I mean, I still think he's going to have a solid season. So, he's at number 5. Moving on to number 6, I have Justin Herbert. This could seem kind of almost biased because I'm a big Justin Herbert fan, but, once again, they signed Corey Linsley, which, similar with Aaron Rodgers losing him, with Justin Herbert gaining him, that's a really underrated signing. I mean, this is not only going to really boost the run game a lot, with Austin Eckler going to be fully healthy next year. This is going to help out Justin Herbert a lot. And with the 14th pick, I definitely think the Chargers could definitely go tackle still. I think it's probably less likely now, but they still could, and if they do that, then this definitely, I think I'm keeping this, and yeah, I mean, I just think Justin Herbert, I mean, he had a great rookie season. I mean, people don't understand, I mean, he had almost, I mean, it's kind of debatable just because of rushing numbers, but he had a very similar season to Russell Wilson, and he played 1 less game, which is crazy. I mean, like, if you look at the stats, I mean, it is true, though, seriously. So, to me, I mean, I think Justin Herbert is going to have a great sophomore year. I think that he definitely, I think he could be in the MVP conversation. I'm honestly tempted to move him above, like, Deshaun and Russ. I'm going to be honest with you. I think, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry did lose him. That's obviously going to hurt, but you're getting a fully healthy Austin Eckler and obviously Corey Linsley. To me, I think it's better. I mean, Hunter Henry, only had 600 receiving yards. I mean, obviously for a tight end, that's still solid, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's still definitely a top 10 tight end. I'm just trying to say, like, I mean, he didn't have a Travis Kelce type season, so, and I do think this 2nd or 3rd round, maybe 4th round, I think they're going to get a tight end, just because, I mean, they need a tight end. I think they honestly could go wide receiver fairly early, maybe in the first 4 rounds or something, just because, Keenan's kind of getting up there. Mike, you don't know if they're going to re-sign him, and then you don't really have a true third, what's his name, the guy they drafted last year. He actually had a pretty solid rookie season. I'm drawing a blank right now, but he had a solid season, but I still think they could go wide receiver pretty early, and like I said, I think they'll go tackle probably 1st or 2nd round. And yeah, I think he's going to have a great season. I'm really excited to see him play. I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. And yeah, moving on to number 7. This was tough for me, but I went Tom Brady, but I really wanted to go Ryan Tannehill. which kind of shows it's a little biased. But I didn't because, well, first of all, I didn't want to get hated on for being biased, but also, I mean, I do think Tom Brady's going to edge out Ryan Tannehill just because, I mean, Ryan Tannehill, like, well, obviously, he has Derrick Henry as his running back, and I do think with the new offensive coordinator, we're not going to be running as much. Not like I think we're going to be running like where we're going to be passing a crap ton more. No, but I do think that we're not going to be, running Derrick Henry 30 carries a day or a game, sorry. But I do think, obviously losing Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith is huge. I mean, that's really going to hurt Ryan Tannehill. We did get Josh Reynolds, which I think is one of the more underrated signings. But you also lose our best tackle. Well, I guess Taylor Warren's our best tackle, but he was injured last year. With Dennis Kelly. We got Kendall Lamb, but he's mostly just going to be more of a backup. And yeah, I mean, overall, like, I want to put Ryan Tannehill here, but I think Tom Brady is going to have a great season again. I mean, it's similar deal with Aaron Rodgers. He's really never had a bad season as a full starter, I guess I should say. And, yeah, they got Chris Godwin back. They got Gronkowski back. They got Leonard Fournette back. I mean, they got all the starters back. And I think, yeah, I mean, as long as they can protect Tom Brady, I think this team's going to be great. And, yeah, I mean, I do think, though, he is older. So, I mean, if he's getting sacked a lot, then he definitely could go down with an injury, and that could, end his career for sure. But if he stays healthy, I do think that he's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the league. But I honestly don't know if I don't know. I think he's going to probably throw a decent amount of interceptions like this year, but throw a lot of touchdowns. Like I said, I think he'll have a similar year. But you did see, I mean, like this year, for example, I mean, his throw power definitely, you could tell, regressed. It wasn't like a huge regression where you could see, like, he was underthrowing guys by 20 yards, I mean, it wasn't that big, but, I mean, you definitely could tell that he was losing his throw power a little, and I think that's going to keep it up. So I mean, he definitely could. You could see him probably start off strong and then kind of slowly go down. Not like huge like regression, but I do think he's going to start to regress. I mean, you've never had a quarterback throwing 40 touchdowns a season like Tom Brady. I guess I shouldn't say 40, probably like 30, but still, you get what I'm trying to say. I think Tom Brady put in at 7, and yeah, so that is my top 7 heading into 2021. Let me know if you guys would change anything here. There's a lot of things here that's honestly kind of almost getting me and wanting me to almost change it, but I'm sticking with my list. I'm probably at the end of the 2021 season, I'm going to do a lot of reaction videos where I react to like my rankings for players. Eventually here, probably after the draft, I'm going to do a NFL honors prediction video. And yeah, so I'll probably react to all those, but yeah, like I said, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It only takes a few seconds, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.